All right, so we're going to go over Calendly today, which is a quick app that you can use for schedule appointments. It's a free app, but they do have a paid version. But this is going to save you a lot of time if you have clients or you need to schedule meetings. Save you a lot of time from going back and forth. So why do you need the calendar booking app? Well, the main goal here is to save, like I said, to save you time from going back and forth on your calendar and getting a meeting on your calendar. If you're like me and you have clients or people reaching out, you've probably had a lot of back and forth between email. So we're just going to go through real quick a few items that we're going to cover today: integrations, setting up your account, how to brand and set up your profile, as well as event types, event duration. And we're also going to go through reminders and just some advanced stuff you can do, like confirmation pages and a payment. So let's jump into it. So if you're here, you may have already set up a Calendly account. If not, you can just go to the main page here and just do the sign up for free. You can sign up with Google or Microsoft, or you can just do it with your email. I already have my account set up. Typically just going to ask your email and password, and then it will get you set up into the account. So once you come in, first thing we're going to do is you want to go to your account up here, and then we'll go to account settings. If you have a image or profile pic, you want to update it and add it here on your page. You also want to put in your name or your company name here. Probably just put your name here. And then just a quick message. I just have just generic message here, just welcome to my page, and then just some instructions for if they want to book a call. You can set up your date format, time format, where you're at, a location, and time zone. I always typically set mine. I'm in Pacific, so I set mine to Pacific. The next thing you want to do is branding here. So if you have a company logo, you can add it here. I'm going to add mine real quick just to show you. So I just have a generic logo that I'm going to add here. You can resize it or crop it. I want the full thing to show up there, so I'm just going to apply it there. Cool. So then my logo's there. Save changes. There is a Calendly branding here too that you can toggle on and off. I believe it's only for the pro version where you can have it on or off. I'm on pro, but it's a free version. I think it's just there automatically. And then the next thing you want to go through, this is very important here. This is your Calendly link. So this is your main link. You can either do your company name or your actual name. So I just did my first and last name because typically that's what I'm giving out to people. So I just wanted to grab that hook, but either one will work there. And then the rest here is just phone numbers and your phone number right there that you can add if you want to add it in the workflow. And then this is just log in, how you're logged in. I have mine connected to my Google here. You can change that if you want. And then this is just the cookie settings here that you can add on. So when people visit your form or site, you're covered there. I just have all of them turned on. And that's it for account settings. The next thing you want to do is you want to come over to calendar connection. So this is going to be pretty important here. So if you have any calendars or that you need to connect, I think on the free plan it only allows 2, but I have several emails where I'm getting booked, or whether it's for myself or for clients. So I like to have it there so it checks for conflict. So I have these calendars added. If you want to add one, just add a calendar, and then you can select your integration. All mine are through Google, but if you have Microsoft, you can easily just connect there. So I just have my Gmail and G Suite calendars connected. Just hit connect, and it will give you an option to add any additional calendars if you need to. I'm going to go back here. But also the main thing here that you want to check for is to get your calendars connected is you want it to check for conflicts. That's why I have multiple calendars here. So if I send out my Calendly link to any potential new clients, it's going to check all 3 of these calendars to make sure there's no events and that there's no conflicts. This add to calendar, this is the main calendar that I want my Calendly events to go to. So this is the best email for me to see, the main one that I check. So I want all communications and all events to go on this calendar here. Next you want to go to is apps. And the reason you want to do that, there is actually not out. So we want to go to integrations. And this is important because I use a lot of my calls through Zoom. So if you go here to video conferencing, I have my Zoom connected, but if you want to do Google Meet or Teams or GoToMeeting or WebEx, you can add those as well. But that's the main thing. If you have if you're taking payments, or, you want to track analytics or any other applications you want to connect, you can connect those here as well. You can see here, but the main one that I have set up is Zoom, because this allows me to have my personal Zoom account set up. So whenever a meeting is scheduled, it automatically creates a Zoom meeting as well, and it sends that out to the client. But we'll go over that here in a second if you want to add those in too. So cool. So next thing you want to go over is the events. So events here, remember we talked earlier about the Calendly link. So I have my Calendly link here with my name on it, but I have several events here too. So if we go to this page here, you'll see this is what it looks like when I give out my Calendly link. So it has my image here, my name, and then my little message that I have there. And I have 4 different events here if someone gets this link. So if there's, potential client, if I haven't done any work with them and they want to schedule an introductory call, I typically give this link out. This is a good way it's a 15-minute call that I set up. It's a good way to come in and allow me to get introduced to the client, for me and the client to get a feel, see if we're a good fit before even moving forward. I typically like to keep that 15 minutes. I also like to hear a little bit about what they're looking for as well, the project, just to see if it's something that I'm interested in or if it's something that I can fulfill on before I'm moving forward. Then after that, I typically, if everything fits and is good, I'll typically, get access to whatever systems I need and then go for getting a quote from there. And then I usually schedule a longer conversation, like a one hour conversation, sometimes 30 minutes. So typically I like to give an hour block to kind of go through everything and get everything set up. This one right here is just a quick 15-minute. If there's any clients that want to hop on a call, they reach out. I typically don't take calls like at the spur of a minute. Like sometimes I will, but in most cases I try to set the boundary that I don't. So I typically just send this link here, and it's just a quick 15-minute follow-up for them to hop on if we need to discuss something real quick with the client. And then those are the ones that I have set up. I'll walk through also with these two. If you don't want to give the main one out, these have individual links too. So if I just need to send this out to a potential new client, I can just give them this link here. It's this potential clients link, and it takes them directly to this booking page. Also, if you wanted to, there are also some options here too. Here's the share my link where you can see that. You can make it a single link use too if you want to. So if you give that link out, I know sometimes like I've had clients, I've given the link out and then they've went and scheduled, just a meeting without giving me a heads up. So if you want to make it a single use, this is a good feature for that. So, hey, you give it to them, but you don't want them to be able to always book. If there's a special link that you want to give to them, especially like the 1 hour meeting or something like that, then I just make that a single link use. You can do that and then just give them this link here, which is pretty cool. You can add times to an email, or if you want to add it to your website, this is cool too. So if you want to embed it on your own custom page, you can give these options here to do an embed. And then if you continue, it will give you the code just to add on to your website. If you have a WordPress site or any site that allows like an HTML embed, you can put your Calendly link or Calendly booking on that page. To set up events, we'll go through real quick to set up a new event. So there's several type of events that you can set up. You can set up a one-on-one. This is typically what I set up. You can do, if you want to do a group, if you're going to have a group of people on a call, you can use this. You'll be the host, but a group of people that are coming in, it's like a webinar or like an online class or just a group meeting. You can do that. You can also do a collective too. This is good for like panel interviews or like group interviews, like group sales calls. You can set that up. And then round robin is if you have multiple people on your team that has availability to take calls, whether that's like an onboarding team or sales team or something like that, then you set up round robin and it will check who's ever available and give them that meeting. That way, if you have, hours available for your team, time slots, if you have multiple people in here, gives you more options or your clients more options to book. But typically I just do the one-on-one, so we'll do that. And then you can do just event name here. So we'll just do And you see here, it's going to automatically try to give it an event link. Here you can add location. So you can do in-person, phone call, Google Meet, Zoom. Since I typically always do. But if you don't have any of these, you can also just do a custom one too. If you just wanted to leave like a custom like information, like a custom link or like your phone number or something, you could just choose the custom option and put that there as well. Description, just a quick summary. If there's anything that they need to know or any questions that you want to get beforehand, you can put that there, or just kind of letting them know what the event is about. You can put that there as well. So you can see here on mine, I just have like a quick conversation here to see if it's a good fit. For those that want to connect for the 15-minute, I have that there as well. Let's go back. And then this is just the event link, whatever you want it to be, your Calendly.com, your name or company name, and then the link. And then you could just choose a event color if you want to specify the different colors for the different events. Only you see that internally. So that's what that is for. And then next, what you want to set up is a date range. So typically if you're doing like sales calls or something like that, you typically don't want it to be this far out. You want to change this maybe like 7 days in the future. For me, typically I do like, if I'm doing like clients, I typically do like, 2 weeks out. Sometimes I do a month, but typically 2 weeks because I want to get them on a call like as soon as possible. If you're doing it for that and you have leads coming in, you definitely want to get them on sooner. You don't want to have it too far out down the road into the future. But in some cases that may work better for you. This is right here where you can set up the duration of the meeting. So, typically it's default to 30, but if you want it to be 15, or hour or custom, hour is typically like the longest I have there. But if you have a longer meeting or like a group interview or something, you want to change it, you can set that up for like 2 hours or 3 hours, whatever you want it to be. Typically, I use my schedule here. You can set custom hours here as well. I also have my working hours that are set up here. So I just have my main availability set up under working hours. And this is typically when I take calls here. So for all my calendar events, I have these days between these times here where I take, new calls or just calls in general with Calendly. And then this right here, you can add buffers in. So if you want to give yourself some time before a call or after a call, especially if you're taking a lot of calls, during the week or during the day, you want to give yourself or your team some type of buffer before and after the event so you can prevent back-to-back calls and give yourself a little breather. These are just some additional rules where you can set it up to be in 30-minute increments, 10, 15, however you want to set the frequency up. This is how far in advance you need for a client to be able to book. I got it 4 hours. That gives me enough notice. But if you wanted to do, like 24 hours, or at least like a day in advance, you can do that. This allows you to set a maximum number of events that can be booked during the day. Say you only take 2 or 3 calls a day, you could put that there as well. So it will only allow that per day. And then this will automatically detect the invitee's time zone. I like to leave that there so they get it in their time zone and you get it in yours. So there's really no confusion on what time the call is, especially if you're taking calls in different time zones. And this is if you just want to make it a secret event and hide it from your Calendly page, you can do that there. Next here, we have some additional questions. So if you need to, want to add anything that you want to ask before the call, you can do that here. Typically, I always just do, name, email, and then just anything that I should know before the meeting. I just have it there. But if you have some additional questions you need to ask, you can add those questions. This is going to be workflows. If you want to set up any like automations or anything here, such as like text reminders or email reminders or thank you emails, you can set up workflows here. You also can set those up here. You can personalize like the meeting beforehand. So this is like the calendar event, what they see, like their name and then the name of the event. And this is like the description that they get, all the details there. You can add or change that if you want. Click this variables and it will give you a list of like fields based on what they pull in that you can add there as well. This is just reminders. If you want to send out reminders before the event, you could turn those on. This is just a follow-up for like next steps after the call. You can also do text message reminders too. These you can personalize too. Just personalize the information again, just add in what you want in there. If there's fields that, they filled out, that's the same based on the book and the call. you can add those fields in using the variables as well. Like I said, same thing here for the text reminder too. You can add that in as well. So if you wanted to add in like the meeting link or something in here, you can add that in as well. So they have that in the text message. The only other thing is like a cancellation policy. So if you have like a strict cancellation policy, where like, if you're booking appointments and like those time slots, like, or prevent like you're charging and there's other customers that are missing out with people that are canceling and not showing up to meetings, you can pick whatever your cancellation policy is. If you don't have one, for me, like mine are just like introductory calls. So it's not really a big deal if they cancel. So I don't really put one in there. But if you have one where it's really like time sensitive and, like you need to hold people to those meetings, then I would put that in there just to let them know. We'll just do never mind, cancel. Yep. And then the last thing is confirmation page. So right now, I typically just have it go to the Calendly display confirmation page. But if you have like your own site or something that you want to direct them to, a custom thank you page, then you can set that up here and just add your URL there where you want to direct them to. And then this right here is if you are going to collect payments, you'll need to set up your payment here. So like Stripe or PayPal to integrate. I typically don't collect payments there, but it's a good way to, if you have something where you're booking like a cleaning service or like, you're a barber or a beautician or something like that and you want to charge, then you can collect those payments here as well and set up your pricing. But that is an easy way to use. I know for me, it saves me a lot of time with getting people on the calls. Typically, my workflow is a lot quicker with using Calendly. Typically, when people reach out to me, I typically just send back, especially if it's a new client, I typically just send back an email with my Calendly link in there and tell them to book a time, pick a time that works best for them. And then we hop on a call. That way it saves me having to send 3 or 4 emails trying to get availability and time. I just send them my link. They know their schedule and they pick a time that works for them. Cool. If you guys have any questions or want any additional information, please drop your comments below. If you want to get up to date and stay up to date with all systems or tech automation, I'll drop my newsletter in the description as well. You can go there and get on the newsletter to make sure you're up to date. Thank you and have a good day.